5 ancient civilizations more terrifying than your nightmares. Number 5. The Akkadian apocalypse. So picture this. You're ruling the first true empire in human history. You've got armies, cities, trade routes, shiny temples, the whole ancient world starter pack. The Akkadian Empire around 2300 BCE in Mesopotamia was basically the Amazon Prime of its day. And then, bam, nature decided to uninstall their entire civilization with one catastrophic drought. Here's the terrifying part. Archaeologists found evidence of what's called the 4.2 kiloyear event. Basically, a climate collapse that lasted 300 years. Imagine walking outside and seeing dust where rivers used to be. Farmers starved, cities got abandoned, and people started writing poems about how much everything sucked. The Sumerians literally recorded their misery in clay tablets, like the first Yelp reviews of Apocalypse. 1 star. Would not recommend this drought. But the nightmare wasn't just thirst. Desperate people turned violent. Starving nomadic tribes stormed the crumbling empire, turning the once mighty Akkadians into desert roadkill. It's the OG zombie apocalypse, except the zombies were real humans who hadn't had a decent meal in months. Basically, the Akkadian Empire didn't collapse from enemy swords. It collapsed because the sky said, "No rain for you." And you thought your Wi-Fi going out was bad. Number 4. The Moche and their blood gods. Now, let's take a vacation to ancient Peru, around 100 and 800 CE, where the Moche civilization thrived. They had beautiful pottery, impressive pyramids, and ritual human sacrifice that would make even a horror movie director say, "Hey, maybe tone it down a little." The Moche believed their gods were hungry, not like bring an offering of fruit hungry, but we demand gallons of human blood poured into the earth hungry. Archaeologists found mass graves near Moche temples with victims who'd been beheaded, cut, or drained of blood in elaborate rituals. And here's the kicker. They often sacrificed warriors who lost ritual battles. Imagine signing up for a fight thinking, cool, this is like ancient UFC, only to realize, oops, winner keeps living. But it wasn't just about fear. For the Moche, these sacrifices were cosmic maintenance, like paying your electric bill so the sun wouldn't shut off. If crops failed or droughts hit, they doubled down on bloodletting. The scarier the world got, the scarier their rituals became. So yeah, the Moche basically ran a civilization where your survival depended on your usefulness to bloodthirsty gods. If that's not nightmare fuel, I don't know what is. Number 3. The Assyrian Empire of Pain. If there was ever a civilization that needed an HR department, it was the Assyrians. From about 900 to 600 BCE, the Assyrian Empire was the ancient world's equivalent of a biker gang on steroids. They weren't just conquerors, they were the kings of psychological warfare. Picture this. You're chilling in your city. When Assyrian armies roll up, they don't just fight, they make a performance out of it. They carve reliefs showing their favorite hobbies, impaling prisoners, skinning rebels alive, stacking heads into decorative piles. Think of it as ancient Instagram flexing, except instead of posting brunch pics, they posted human suffering. And they did it intentionally. Terror was their brand. Cities would surrender without a fight, just because Assyrians had a reputation for turning rebellion into a horror show. Their kings bragged in inscriptions about blinding enemies or chaining nobles to dogs. Like who wakes up and thinks, yes, today I will invent a new way to ruin someone's day permanently? Assyrians, apparently. The irony? This over-the-top brutality eventually backfired. When the empire started to weaken, everyone they had traumatized teamed up to destroy them. It's kind of like being the villain in every season of a TV show. Sooner or later, all the heroes unite for the finale. Still, if you lived anywhere near them, the Assyrians were less neighbors and more recurring nightmares with swords. Number 2. The Aztec Empire of Eternal Fear. Yes, we're going there. The Aztecs, who thrived in central Mexico from the 1300s until the Spanish conquest, weren't just into art, calendars, and floating gardens. They also turned human sacrifice into a national pastime, like football, except the halftime show ended with someone's heart getting cut out. Here's how it worked. The Aztecs believed the sun god needed human hearts to keep shining. So, to them, ripping out someone's chest cavity wasn't barbaric. It was literally saving the universe. If they didn't sacrifice enough people, the sun might die, and with it, all of humanity. Imagine the cosmic pressure. Sorry, Dave, but if I don't remove your organs, the world ends. Nothing personal. During major ceremonies, thousands could be sacrificed in a single festival. Spanish conquistadors may have exaggerated the numbers, but archaeology confirms it was definitely a lot. Priests in obsidian masks stood atop temples, blaze flashing, blood flowing down steps like something out of a metal music video. And if you were a captured warrior, congrats, you just won a one-way ticket to becoming cosmic fuel. What makes it extra terrifying is the devotion. This wasn't chaos, it was organized, systematic, state-sponsored nightmare fuel. The entire civilization believed survival of the cosmos hinged on feeding the gods' blood. Basically, the Aztecs turned existential dread into a government policy. Number 1. The Maya collapse of madness. Okay, so you know the Maya, famous for their insanely accurate calendars, giant stone cities, and somehow making math look cool. But behind the pyramids and astronomy, their civilization also carried a terrifying streak of collapse and desperation. Between 800 and 1000 CE, the so-called classic Maya collapse hit. Picture bustling cities like Tikal and Copan, massive thriving centers, and then watch them slowly empty out like someone pulled the plug. Archaeologists think it was a toxic cocktail of drought, warfare, and overpopulation. Basically, the Maya built a Jenga tower out of society, and climate change came along and kicked it over. Here's the scary part. They didn't just crumble quietly. They doubled down on ritual sacrifices and warfare, desperately trying to fix a world spinning out of control. Imagine being a farmer watching your crops die, your king still demanding tribute, and priests telling you, "Don't worry, we just need a few more hearts on the altar." Yeah, comforting. And then, like a ghost story, the cities were abandoned. Jungles swallowed the temples. By the time the Spanish showed up centuries later, the once great Maya civilization was a whisper among the trees. It's terrifying not because of gore or brutality, but because it shows how even the most advanced societies can unravel when the environment stops playing nice. Basically, the Maya remind us that civilizations don't go out with a bang. They go out with a drought, a war, and a desperate hope the gods will cut you some slack. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.